Hey, what's up? This is a little bit of a different video. You can actually see my face now. But the reason why I wanted to change this thing up is because I have COVID. Look, watch this. Oh shoot, okay, it says that my temperature is actually good. It's normally higher, but we'll check in later on that. But I normally have a slight fever. It's not anything that bad, but I'm bored and I wanted to make a YouTube video, and the other one that I'm making right now is going to take a really long time, and I'm impatient and tired all the time because of COVID. So I figured that I would do an easy one by just judging other states based on my preemptive notions, because I'm a dumb college student. So let's just get right into it and see what we got here. And our first state is Arizona. Arizona, in my opinion, is S tier. No one really has a problem with the people that live there. It's really hot. That's literally the only thing that people have against Arizona, is that it's hot. But the thing is, hot weather is awesome. Basically, any state where there are a lot of old people is going to be a goated state, because that's like the perfect place to live. Arizona is S tier, easily. Next up, we have Alabama. I'm pretty sure this is Alabama. This is going to be kind of a state flag quiz, too. It's in alphabetical order, so process of elimination, this is Alabama. Alabama's D tier, obviously. No, they're F tier. Honestly, they're F tier. And that is because they're Alabama. Name one good thing from Alabama other than football. There's nothing good in Alabama. No one lives there. And the people that do scare me. Okay, Arkansas is pretty daggone close to Alabama, to be honest. I don't know. They're honestly just as racist, if not more racist, than Alabama. I think that they gotta be an F tier. What's the best thing that came out of Arkansas? Who's the one person that you know is from Arkansas? It's Bill Clinton. It's Bill Clinton. F tier. Alaska. Okay, Alaska, I'm gonna put them in D tier because, of course, it's really cold. Not that many people really want to live there, but the fact that there are people that want to live there just says something about the culture there. So I feel like the culture there is really good, even if the weather and the climate isn't. So yeah, they're D tier. But honestly, culture-wise, they're S tier. But weather-wise, they're F tier, probably like F minus tier. So they even out to D tier. Okay, California. Oh my gosh. California is the most polarizing state in America because they have the best weather. It's like without a doubt the best weather other than the wildfires. If there isn't a wildfire, I would live in California all day long. Or the earthquakes. The fact that the weather is so good there, you gotta have them higher up, but at the same time the people there are so annoying. They're the opposite of Alaska. They're F minus tier in people, but then they're like A tier, if not S tier, in terms of weather. So for that reason, I have them in D tier also with Alaska. Connecticut, man, I don't know. Connecticut's just kind of full of a bunch of like rich snobs, isn't it? That's my interpretation of them. That might be completely wrong, but my interpretation of them is that that's like their stereotype, is they're just a bunch of rich snobs. They're just kind of annoying. I'm just going to put them in D tier. They might be C tier. They're like high D. Alright, Colorado. Colorado's S tier. Come on, stop playing with them. Like, they're just all chill. All they do is ski and smoke weed. They're not going to, like, throw hands with you. They're just out there to chill. They're basically everything that California wants to be, but aren't. For that reason, they're S tier. Next up is Delaware. Delaware is, like, the most boring state. One of the most boring states. But, they're pretty chill. Like, they don't really get in anyone's way. They got a cool-looking flag. They kind of just vibing. So I'm going to put them in B tier. Alright. Florida. Okay, everyone wants to say that Florida's F tier because, Florida, man, everyone that lives in Florida is crazy. Listen, the weather in Florida is amazing. I don't care if you say, it's sticky and hot as balls in there. No. Florida... Man, I want to put them in S tier. Y'all are going to hate me, but I really want to put them in S tier. I'm going to put them in A tier just to appease y'all because, admittedly, there are a lot of meth heads there. And there was that one guy that ate someone's face off when he took too many bath salts. So I'm going to put them in A tier. Georgia. Georgia is basically everything Alabama wants to be, but they're still kind of racist. They're like diet racism. They got peaches and Atlanta. Atlanta's pretty cool. They got the Coke factory. They got the aquarium. They got the Olympics. How'd the Olympics get to Atlanta? Atlanta's smaller than Charlotte, and they somehow got the biggest sporting event in the world. So I'm going to put them in B tier. Hawaii's S tier. Stop playing with them. Honestly, anyone would live in Hawaii if they could afford groceries, because milk is like $10 a gallon. So if you can afford groceries there, you would live in Hawaii. You already know. Iowa's the most boring state in the U.S. They're C tier. Kansas is the same as Iowa. Illinois is C tier. Outside of Chicago, okay, first off, Chicago sucks. Like, it's the worst city in the U.S. People talk about how you can't have crap in Detroit. Chicago is so much worse. I don't know why the meme wasn't about Chicago. There's like 10 people that die every day from violent crimes. And outside of Chicago, it's really nothing. I mean, you got Springfield. I guess Illinois basketball is pretty good. But they lost, so, C tier, easy. Indiana's like the same state as Illinois, except they have Indianapolis instead of Chicago. I feel like Indiana's kind of like a slightly better version of Illinois, so I'm going to put them in B tier. They're still a pretty boring state, but they're also pretty chill. Why are there so many states that are just a blue flag with a seal on them? Kentucky's low-key D tier. I really don't want to put them in D tier, but they kind of are. Oh, they're basketball fans. Their basketball fans are so annoying. Both Kentucky and Louisville are caught up in some sort of NCAA allegation, and their fans like to ignore it. And horse racing. Who cares about horse racing? D tier. All right, Kansas. Kansas is boring. Wait, didn't I already do Kansas? What? Wait, what was that other state? Idaho. No. Okay, you gotta admit, Idaho has a very similar looking flag. Okay, Idaho was still C tier, honestly. You got Napoleon Dynamite and Boise State football, and that's it. And some potatoes, so not much going on there. Same thing with Kansas. You got corn, and that's it. So Kansas goes in C tier. Now, I'm almost positive that this is Louisiana because they're the only state that likes to brag about pelicans, even though pelicans are in like every state. Louisiana's pretty chill. They're probably like the coolest state in the Deep South. New Orleans has a lot of good culture. I think I might want to put them in A tier. Yeah, I'm putting them in A tier. They got a really cool culture. I think the only downside is that you can't understand people. And the weather's really hot. Other than that, it's a pretty solid state to be in, I feel like. Okay, this is Maine. Alright, Maine is basically like, to me, is the only redeeming quality of the Northeast. I think that they're B tier. Yeah, B tier is probably a solid spot for them. They don't really get in people's faces about anything. They got lobster, they got fishing, and lighthouses, so that's pretty cool. Michigan is F tier. Minnesota's low-key A tier. The weather sucks. I'm telling you, the Midwest, like the West Midwest, like basically Wisconsin, Minnesota, and the Dakotas, probably just have like the nicest people. So for that reason, I got them in A tier. Iowa C tier, boring, racist flag. I'm pretty sure that's Mississippi, because what else would it be? Oh, that's their old flag. Nah, Mississippi still sucks even without a racist flag. Massachusetts F tier too. Learn how to talk right. You don't know how to talk correctly if you're from Massachusetts. Fix yourself. Montana's pretty boring. Nature's pretty cool there, but it's also really cold. So for that reason, C tier. I grew up hating the state of Maryland. Like, I absolutely hated Maryland. And it wasn't because of anything with the actual state itself. It was the University of Maryland. They have the most annoying sports fans. So for that reason, Maryland, I gave you way too much crap. Y'all got Old Bay, A tier. Alright, now my home state of North Carolina. You already know, it's S tier. We got the mountains. We got the beach. We got the Piedmont. We got Charlotte. We got everything that's in Charlotte. Charlotte's a really cool city. We got Raleigh. Raleigh's a really cool city. There's nothing that other states have that we don't have. North Carolina's just the most versatile state. North Dakota's B tier. It's kind of the same story with Minnesota, only there's less people there, so that's why they're bumped down to B tier. But everyone there is just so nice. Nebraska's C tier. Boring. New Hampshire is easily one of the most forgettable states. C tier. New Jersey's F tier. Easily F tier. Y'all might even be worse than Massachusetts in terms of your accent. No one likes that accent. It's so annoying. Either one of y'all. New Mexico's kind of a Arizona wannabe. I'm putting them in B tier because they got the hot weather, but they don't have the cool cities like Phoenix and Tucson. Nevada, there's nothing in Nevada. Nevada is so boring other than Vegas, and everything that happens in Vegas is absolute chaos. So they're going in D tier. New York, if we're just talking about New York City, easily F tier. No, I don't know why people choose to live in New York. But for the rest of the state, they're kind of like a C tier, maybe even a B tier. So I think that you got to even it out and put them in D tier because obviously so many people in New York live in New York City, but that just discredits all the cool people from the rest of this state. So for that reason, I'm putting them in D tier. Ohio, all right. Oklahoma's pretty cool. I feel like Oklahoma's like the only Great Plains state that has anything interesting going on. I don't know if it's enough to go into B tier though. Yeah, there still really isn't that much going on other than Native American history, which is pretty cool. I gotta put y'all in C tier. I'm sorry. Oregon's kind of annoying, but at the same time, they just have so much like cool stuff going on, especially with Portland. Portland's so weird, at least from what I saw from Portlandia. That's my entire knowledge of the city of Portland. Probably everyone from Portland that ever sees this, if anyone even sees this, is just gonna like hate me so much for saying that Portlandia influenced my decision on this. I want to put them in A tier or S tier, but that's another controversial one. I'm gonna put them in A tier. Ayo. Temperature check.
Yeah, we'll go, man.
Yeah, see? 99.4. I told you I was sick. Pennsylvania's D tier. I was doing research for another video on the state of Pennsylvania. You'll find out later why I was doing that. But I found out that there are only 2 cities that are of any significance, which is Pittsburgh and Philly. And Philly is a dumpster fire. Pittsburgh's okay. Pittsburgh's pretty cool. I'll give them that. But still, there's like nothing else. I'm gonna put them in C tier. They're kind of a boring state out of those 2 cities. And one of the cities is crazy, and the other one is okay, but not that great, so... Yo, I kind of vibe with this flag, but I don't know what it is. Is that Rhode Island? Dude, Rhode Island be killing it in the flag game. But at the same time, they shouldn't be a state, in all honesty. Rhode Island is literally like the same size as the county I live in. So, D tier. South Carolina is like North Carolina's weird cousin. So for that reason, I'm going to put them in B tier. They got fireworks. That's the coolest thing. If you want to get fireworks, drive down to South Carolina if you're close enough and buy them there because they're at the borders of the entire state. That's how you know that you're in South Carolina is when you're on the highway and you start seeing like a million firework stores, you're in South Carolina. South Dakota, everyone likes to say, oh, merge the Dakotas, and I'm sure that everyone from North and South Dakota hate people saying that. There kind of is a point there. Y'all are like the same state. B tier. I'm pretty sure that's where North Dakota was. Tennessee, you're the only 10 I see.
Comedy gold.
They're A tier. They got music. The music scene in Tennessee is really cool. Don't know how it happened. Like, I don't know how Tennessee, of all places, was the place where musicians wanted to live. I guess because of Elvis. That can't be the only reason why Tennessee is so popular. I'll put them in A tier. Can we talk about how annoying people from Texas are? If a person from Texas is in Europe and someone there asks, oh, where are you from? They're not going to say I'm from the U.S. They're going to say, I'm from Texas. Y'all are so pompous. F tier or D tier? Ohio? No, Ohio's so much worse. There's still not that, like, what is there to do in Texas? What is the redeeming, why does everyone want to live in Texas? Why is Joe Rogan live, is it taxes? Is that literally the only reason? Utah is B tier. The geography of Utah is, like, super cool. Mormons don't really bother people too much, I feel like. Is Mitt Romney from Utah? I don't know. I don't really care. Vermont. Boring. C tier. Virginia's B tier. Virginia's pretty cool. You know, they have the most presidents, they got mountains, and they have one beach. But they also have the Chesapeake Bay, so they're kind of up there with Maryland. You know, I think that Virginia and Maryland are low-key kind of the same. I think I might bump Maryland down to B tier. No hate to Maryland. Virginia and Maryland have so much in common. It just wouldn't make sense to have one of them in A tier and the other one in B tier. Washington is up there with Oregon. It's a little bit colder though. We're just going to go with it. We're just going to put them in A tier since they're so similar to Oregon. Wisconsin's also A tier because the people there are just so friendly. They've got cheese, they've got cows. It's just all around a good state. Except, Packers fans. Packers fans are a little bit crazy. But other than that, they're pretty good. Mountain Mama. D tier. They're not as bad as people say they are, but they're still not that great. And then the last one is Wyoming. Wyoming does not exist. So for that reason, they are in D tier. Alright. Oh man, my hair looks stupid. Thank you for watching. I know that this probably angered a lot of people having this list in this order. If you enjoyed watching this, I would really appreciate you subscribing if you want to. I don't really care. I just do this for fun, but it is really encouraging when y'all subscribe. But anyways, thanks for watching and stay safe out there.